Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm just going to wait a minute and see if people come on, um, and then we'll be able to start. Today, we're going to be looking at some practices on resilience from Thich Nhat Hanh's books. And I'm just so excited to be with everybody today. I'm just going to wait a minute for a couple people to pop on. And I'm just going to make sure I'm live. So I'm going to look here and see if I'm live. Oh, there I am. Let's see. So welcome everybody, and we can get started. If you're here, just leave a comment in the comment section just to let us know that you're here. And, you know, the fact that we are so far away and we are not together, we can still make a solid case for practicing together virtually. The Sangha means mindfulness community. The Sangha is electric. When we come together as a Sangha, we're able to practice together and we're able to generate the energy of mindfulness, not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones and also for strangers, for people out there in the world that we don't know. And honestly, it's quite an illusion that that we're strangers and that we don't know them, because we are all connected. Oh, hello, Susan. Welcome. It's so nice to be with you. So today we have the opportunity to come together and practice mindfully, moving our bodies, sitting with mindfulness concentration in a meditation, and also with breathing today. And like I said before, we're going to look at a few readings from Thich Nhat Hanh on the topic of resilience. And why is that so important? Well, our sovereign states, Rhode Island and Massachusetts, are going to be reopening soon. And what does that mean for everybody? What does that mean for us? And do we have that inner wisdom and that inner guidance to be able to take refuge in so that we can be resilient while moving through these uncertain waters where we don't really know what to do? And we don't really always know what the right thing is to do. And so what do we rely on is our resilience, and that we have this inner compass that's guiding us. And one way that we can cultivate that is through the energy of mindfulness, where we stop, we rest, we observe, and then we can respond as opposed to react. So I'd like to start us out with a poem tonight. This is a poem by Henry James. It's not a poem, it's more of a quote. 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. And this is a second quote that I wanted to share by Desmond Tutu. Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. And I thought that was a beautiful quote. It's sort of like whatever we cultivate, whether it be kindness or joy, we can share that with the world. And I'd rather have a world overwhelmed by joy and kindness than anything else. How about you? So I'll go ahead and, if you're kind of like, well, what is she doing? Is she like sitting on the floor? Because you see my door here and everything. I'll show you that I'm kneeling. My father made me this wonderful meditation bench. We actually worked together on it, and it's a beautiful meditation bench. It's angled at the feet and it closes up for easy traveling. It's a wonderful bench and it's very comfortable. There we go. So I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable position so that we can move into our sitting meditation tonight. And, oh, I have it the wrong way. That's why it's weird. There we go. I had it on the high end in the back. So just find a nice comfortable position where your spine is erect and your shoulders are just nice and relaxed. And you can start to, you might want to sit down on a chair, or you can sit cross-legged on the ground. That might get a little uncomfortable, but you're more than welcome to start shifting your posture as long as you're shifting it mindfully and slowly. And just check in with your body right now. Feel what's going on in your body. Do you have any pain anywhere? And if you have pain, just acknowledge the pain and just allow your body to sit comfortably as possible with that feelings and sensations that you're having in your body. And I'd like to invite you to close your eyes and start to follow a gentle breath, pulling up from the belly all the way up on your in-breath, and then exhaling out. Really just taking this time to pause. You may have had a very busy day today. Even if physically you were not busy, if you were mentally busy, this is a wonderful opportunity to come back to yourself. So just start to deepen your breath. Take this time for yourself. If you're in a busy space in your house and you're not able to clear your calendar and not be disturbed, that's okay. Just accept and acknowledge whatever it is you can do right now, just to cultivate that concentration and focus for yourself. And I'm going to invite the bell 3 times, and then we'll go into a guided meditation. And then I'll move into the silent meditation, and I'll walk us through this too. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. In, out. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. We send our hearts out along with the sound of this bell. May all who hear it awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath from its very beginning to its very end. Breathing out, I follow my out breath from its very beginning to its very end. In, out, beginning, end. Breathing in, I allow the energy of mindfulness and concentration into my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile. And now we'll move into a brief portion of silent meditation until the next sound of the bell. And if any thoughts should arise, just acknowledging them, not trying to push them away, but just sitting with them and allowing them to be observed, just like clouds that come in and also drift away. And if any strong emotions or strong thoughts come in, just acknowledging it, not trying to push it away, but just being with whatever comes up. And we'll just go into silent meditation until the next sound of the bell. Just checking in if any strong emotions are coming up, if any strong thoughts are coming up, just finding your seat, finding an anchor space, in your posture, just being able to be present with what is. Feeling the earth under your feet or under your trunk, feeling your spine connected to the earth, taking refuge in the connectedness. Taking refuge in the Sangha, feeling connected to this mindfulness community, feeling the energetic container and the energy that's being transmitted from our mindfulness together. Small bell for stretching and massage. So welcome back, everybody. We will have another short sit a little bit later on in this time together. I'd like to say hello to the new people that joined us. Susan, hi again. Kristen, hello. And Nicole, hello. And anybody else that might be watching. So I'd like to invite us to do some mindful movement. Mindful movement is a great way to connect mind and body. Thich Nhat Hanh likes to say that mind and body are one. When we're able to unite the two, we're able to come into mindfulness a little bit deeper, and that there is truly no separation between the two. So let's just start with following our breath, feeling the breath in the inhalation come up the body, and then relaxing our body so that on the exhalation we feel an exhalation and a relaxing of the body. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'd like to invite you, when you're sitting down, if you're sitting down right now, to just start shifting your weight back and forth and feel the two sit bones that you have in your trunk. Feel your weight shifting from one side of the trunk to the other. And just being mindful about the sensations that are being created from this movement. Focus your attention on the area right around the sits bones in your trunk. See if just by shifting your posture forward or back, that you can have more ease when you're doing this movement. Just notice the swaying, notice the momentum that can happen even from this slow movement. There's some momentum that can be uh, picking up from this movement. And then just take a moment, come back to center and take a pause and just breathe. Pause. And just feel into your body and see what sensations maybe have been activated from that movement. Now I'd like to invite you to start to circle your wrists. Circle your wrists and feel all of the bones and the muscles that are working together for you to be able to circle your wrists. And maybe go the other way. Maybe ripple it out to the elbows. And as you make this circle and your arms and your forearms are moving in space, feel the energy. Feel the energy of this movement. Feel your arms moving against gravity and with gravity. What are these sensations? Get curious. See if you can feel into the very refined movements that these muscles are making and that these joints are moving like. And switching to the other direction. Hinging at the elbows. And what about one arm at a time, just doing a shoulder movement? And if you have pain at your shoulder, make it very small. If you feel a lot of pain in your shoulder, just go nice and slow. And with your range of motion, go really conservatively. If you feel like you would like more of an arc, feel free to make that movement bigger. But don't force the movement and just go nice and soft. And even ask yourself, what could be softer? How could I move so that the sensations I feel here are softer? And maybe go the other way, where your arm goes forward. And maybe switch arms when you get fatigued. I'm going to start with my left. Maybe it looks like I'm using my right, but I'm moving my left shoulder. This one feels more free for me. So I feel like I want more of an arc. It just feels good to unite mind and body so that we're on the same page. I'm not disconnected from my body when I'm doing this movement. It's a very embodied experience where my mind and my body are one. And now I'm going to move my arm forward, all the while keeping in contact with my breath. I'm not trying to do anything here. There's nowhere to go and nothing to do. All that I have time to do here, I have so much time to just feel the sensations and enjoy the sensations that are happening at my shoulder joint. And again, if you're feeling pain in this shoulder joint, make that range of motion much smaller, much smaller. And why don't we come to a pause? Just come back to center and pause and breathe. See if you can feel any echoes of movement in the stillness. Just get curious about the sensations that you can feel in your shoulders, in your elbows, in your wrists, in all your little finger joints. We think we know everything about the human body that there is to know, but Ty likes to say, "Are you sure?" So it's really nice to ask, "Are you sure?" So that we can be open and curious to what might emerge when we are um, being mindful in the moment. So I'm just going to move on to another sit. So just get yourself comfortable into another seated position, or maybe you want to kneel, maybe you want to sit cross-legged, maybe you want to lay down, or you want to sit on a chair. Do whatever it is your body needs right now. Listen to your body and pay attention and yield to that and just honor what it is that you need right now. I'm going to invite the bell 3 times, and then we're going to have a little bit longer of a sit until the next sound of the bell. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Small bell for stretching and massage. So I'd like to start by sharing um, some passages from Thich Nhat Hanh's books on the topic of resilience. Um, I myself, I feel like I have really been drawing on my practice during this whole time of COVID. Just being able to rely on my practice on my good days and on my bad days when I don't feel so strong. Um, and practicing on the good days is just as important as practicing on the days when it's really hard to practice. Um, Ty likes to say that when we practice on the good days, when we're feeling strong, we're just preparing ourselves to strengthen ourselves for when times get tough. And that's why it's really important to practice, especially in the good times, so we can fortify ourselves and strengthen ourselves. He also likes to tell the story of when 9/11 hit. When 9/11 hit, the monks were traveling in San Francisco on a bus with Thich Nhat Hanh. And when they heard that the airplanes were hitting the towers for 9/11, the monks said to Ty is Thich Nhat Hanh, what are we going to do? We need to act. We need to respond and go help. And Thich Nhat Hanh replied, right now we're going to go to the beach. And the monks were confused. Why are we going to the beach? And Thich Nhat Hanh says, well, next week we're going to go to 9/11 at Ground Zero to support people. But right now we need to have fun. We need to fortify ourselves and we need to build our resilience so that we can be fully present with people and their suffering. So it was really important in that moment, before they were to be of service, that they were to fortify themselves and to practice before they had to go to serve. And I really take comfort in that story because even though there's suffering in the world, it's really important to water the seeds of joy just as much as it's important to attend to people that are suffering and to attend to the suffering in the world. I really love what Ty says in this book, The Sun, My Heart. Um, he mentions right there in the introduction, which is only 2 pages long, it's very short. He says, meditators since the beginning of time have known that they must use their own eyes and the language of their own times to express their insight. Wisdom is a living stream, not an icon to be preserved in a museum. Only when a practitioner finds the spring of wisdom in his or her own life can it flow to future generations. Keeping the torch of wisdom glowing is the work of all of us who know how to clear a path through the forest in order to walk on ahead. Isn't that the essence of resilience? That we're able to cultivate the torch of wisdom. And how do we do that? Ty right there says that it can only be cultivated in ourselves, in our own personal experience. It's not enough to just read books. It's something that needs to be studied, but then also practiced, so that we can take that knowledge from the book or all the things that we've learned. But the real insight comes from when we're just acting in our daily life, when we're able to use our own eyes and the language of our own times to express our insight. I just thought that was so beautiful, and it helps us to cultivate resilience too, so that we can start to build insight on insight, and we can start to feel like wisdom is not just something in a museum or a statue or something unmovable, but it's something that's alive and living and breathing, and something that we can touch and we can understand. I just thought that that was beautiful. The other thing I wanted to share from this book is a part in this book called, under the heading, Effect Follows Cause More Quickly Than a Bolt of Lightning. Peace can exist only in the present moment. It is ridiculous to say, wait until I finish this, then I will be free to live in peace. What is this? A diploma, a job, a house, the payment of a debt? If you think that way, peace will never come. There is always another this that will follow the present one. If you are not living in peace in this moment, you will never be able to. If you truly want to be at peace, you must be at peace right now. Otherwise, there is only the hope of peace someday. My poet friend did not wait to be released from the re-education camp to live in peace. He did not know that he would only be there 4 years. Many stay 10 years or longer. He practiced meditation on a topic similar to, if you want peace, peace is with you immediately. We need to sit down and find a method of practice that works for us so we can live in peace and happiness. Peace does not come only after many long days of practice. What is most important is your wish and your determination. If your determination is strong, the effect will follow the cause more quickly than a bolt of lightning. You can nurture peace through your breathing. You can nurture peace through your breathing, your footsteps, or your smile. Through seeing, hearing, or feeling until you are one with peace. Everything depends on your peace. I love that. It's almost like he's saying that peace is the first thing that we need to pursue. I know that I've been guilty of saying, oh, only wait until after this has happened and then peace is possible. So this passage really spoke to me. So beautiful. And I think the last thing I wanted to share was from the book, The Miracle of Mindfulness. And this is a story it's a Tolstoy, it's like a short story that Tolstoy did on the Emperor's 3 questions. And this is a very long story, so I'm not sure if I should tell it. Maybe I should put it in the in my newsletter when I send the replay of this out. And if you want to get that newsletter, feel free to send me an email at jenny.lin.z@gmail.com, because I feel like this is kind of a long passage, but I surely will put it in my next newsletter. So be sure to hit me up on Gmail. So honestly, all of these passages from Thich Nhat Hanh speak for themselves, just about fortifying our own selves, about being peace, and acknowledging that everything relies on peace. And it starts with our own self. There's no waiting. The time is right now to start. And that's exactly what you and I are doing right now. So thank you for your practice. Before we wrap up with some mindful singing, I thought we'd have another short sit. So please, I'd like to invite you to get into a comfortable position. And I'll invite the bell 3 times, and we'll have a period of silent meditation, and that will draw to a close with the next sound of the bell, with the following sound of the bell. So 3 sounds of the bell, a silent meditation, and then another sound of the bell. Small bell for stretching and massage. So before we sing a song or two, the next 2 dates that we have for meditation on this Facebook page is June 4th and June 18th. So please save the dates and mark your calendars. 6 p.m., same time, June 4th and June 18th. So what song should we sing? How about, oh, this is a very nice one. There is true love right here. And I'll sing it a few times so that you can jump in too. And why is it important that we sing? Because we have to water those seeds of joy, right? When we're ready to be called into action and called to service, we have to feel like our capacity is full enough so that we have some capacity to be of service, right? So let's water those seeds of joy together, because millimeter by millimeter. That's how we get refilled. And what better way than to do it with community, beloved community? So there is true love right here. There is true love right here. There is true love right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true love right here. Let's sing that together again. There is true love right here. There is true love right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true love right here. Joy. There is true joy right here. There is true joy right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true joy right here. Peace. There is true peace right here. There is true peace right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true peace right here. Love. There is true love right here. There is true love right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true love right here. Yay! Thank you so much for your practice. My heart is just so filled with joy to have practice with beloved community today. Thank you for your practice, which benefits not just us, you and I, but it benefits the whole world. It's something in the order of Thich Nhat Hanh they like to call sharing the merit. We wish to share the merit of this practice. Any and all benefit that is generated from this practice, may it benefit the whole world and then some. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again on June 4th at 6 p.m. Take care.